I don't need to say much to introduce the Tesla Model 3. It's one of the world's most influential cars from one of the most influential companies. The Model 3 has been on sale in Ireland since about 2019 and it's been a bestseller ever since. Now there have been some very well publicised price cuts, which mean that this now on paper looks like unbeatable value. But the problem for Tesla is that they're not alone in the market anymore for creating very cool, desirable long-range EVs. There's newcomers like the Hyundai Ioniq 6, the BYD Seal and the Polestar 2, to name just a few. But is this still the original and the best? Well, that's what I want to find out in this video. I'm Caroline and this is the Carzone YouTube channel. If you're looking to buy a new or used car, head over to Carzone.ie, Ireland's trusted motoring marketplace, and you'll find lots of great cars there to choose from. Please give this video a like and please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. This goes on sale from just under €39,000 and that's for a rear-wheel drive version with a range which is now up to 554 kilometres. That's even cheaper than when this car first went on sale back in 2019, and it's also had a significant update. Now that's not how things usually work in the motor industry. Usually a car gets more expensive when it's had an update. But of course this is Tesla and they are the great disruptor of the motor industry. Styling wise, this is a gentle evolution of styles, so it's still very recognisable as a Model 3, but just maybe a bit more futuristic. You've got new slimmer LED headlights, there's also a smoother front fascia, and this car is even more aerodynamic than before. It also has an 88-litre frunk here under the bonnet, and Tesla do make some of the best frunks in the business. There are 5 colours to choose from. This pearl white is the standard colour, so you don't have to pay extra for it. There are 2 new colours, stealth grey and ultra red. The Model 3 comes on 18-inch alloy wheels as standard, but you can upgrade to 19-inch, but that does impact the range a little bit, so you'll get further on these wheels. These are the cameras at the side because the Model 3 is always watching. And you have flush door handles, which are a teeny bit awkward to use. They do look cool though, and you also have these frameless doors for a sporty finish. More subtle changes here at the back. You have new C-shaped LED lights and Tesla is now spelled out across here. There used to be a Tesla logo in the centre. A powered tailgate comes as standard, and this is a saloon car, so you do have quite a narrow aperture, but the volume is very good. It's 594 litres, so that's bigger than rivals like BYD Seal, Ioniq 6 and Polestar 2. You also have some handy underfloor storage that you can tuck away your charging cables or of course put them in the frunk. The rear seats also split fold 60-40 if you have to carry longer items, and the powered tailgate comes as standard. 11 kilowatt AC charging comes as standard. There's DC fast charging up to 170 kilowatt for the rear wheel drive Model 3. It's up to 250 kilowatt for the all-wheel drive version of this car. You also get access to the Tesla supercharger network. They're very reliable, they are plentiful at each location, and you can also access them as if you're traveling across Europe, for example. You just plug in and charge, there's no swipe cards, there's no apps required either, so it's all very convenient. There's also battery preconditioning through the navigation system. So you type in whatever charger you're heading to and it will precondition the battery so that you can charge at the optimum rate when you get there. It feels nicely spacious back here, plenty of legroom. You've got that full width flat floor. There's also good headroom as well. I have about that much extra. Now that driving seat is in my driving position, so I have loads of legroom, but even if that was let back a bit, it still feels pretty generous back here. Width-wise, not too bad either, so you'll get somebody here in the middle from time to time. There are lots of amenities as well. You've got an armrest with cup holders, there's pockets in the back of those seats, generous door bins, there's USB-C ports as well. And I suppose the biggest change for this updated Model 3 is the new digital screen for your rear seat passengers, so they can access their own ventilation and climate controls and also entertainment through apps like Netflix or YouTube. The Model 3 has a classic Tesla cabin, and by that what I mean is that it is very pared back and minimalist. So you've just got your steering wheel, they've removed the stalks, more on that later, and you've got this 15.4-inch touchscreen here in the centre. Now the quality has improved over the years, the fit and finish is good, there's also some good quality plastics here on top of the doors and some fabric there in the dashboard and the door panels. There's also new ambient lighting and you can change the colour of that. There's loads of storage here onto the armrest, there's cup holders, more storage down here and 2 wireless smartphone charging pads. The seats are also new. The black interior comes as standard, but you can upgrade to white seats. And the seats are heated and ventilated. The rear seats are heated. So it's a very high standard specification. The screen is the same size as before, but it's got a thinner bezel, and that's the frame around the screen. So there's more usable screen space. I do really like this screen. It's very responsive. You obviously have over-the-air updates as well. There's lots of different functionality in that. There's games, there's really good navigation also. So there is so much in that screen and the menus are well laid out. It is very intuitive to use. One thing I'm less keen on is the removal of the stalks from behind the steering wheel. So for example, the indicator stalk is gone. So you now have buttons for the indicators. The wipers as well. There's a shortcut button here that pulls up the menu, but it's just a little bit fiddly, I have to say. If you want to adjust your wing mirrors, you have to go into the screen. And also your speedometer is positioned here. There's no head-up display or any sort of digital readout. And that is the way Tesla does things. I suppose you either love it or you hate it. Also, the drive mode selection is now in the screen. So the PRND, you do a swipe action here on the right of the screen. There are buttons up here, but they're not illuminated until you actually touch them. So again, it's a little bit imprecise. It is a brilliantly equipped car for the money. Everything is included, including the pano roof, that screen and all its functionality. There's also a brilliant app that comes with this car. And of course, an excellent sound system. 9 speakers in this rear-wheel drive version or 17 speakers in the all-wheel drive. This update is much more than a facelift because Tesla has made improvements to comfort and refinement. They've updated the suspension and its components to give a smoother ride quality, and they've also put in some more refinement measures like acoustic glass all around. Obviously improved aerodynamics reduces the amount of wind noise in the cabin. They've improved the sound insulation, and there are also new tyres that are range and noise optimized. And I think it's all worked very well, I have to say. When you compare it to rivals like Polestar 2 and BYD Seal, and considering the price of the car, it gives a nice smooth ride quality and also a quiet cabin. It's not quite as premium as, let's say, a Volkswagen ID7 or a BMW i4, but for the money it is very good. It's also a very nice handling car. So you have this nice quick steering, you could change the weight of it through the screen. It's not a particularly heavy car either, so it feels nimble and agile. And of course, there's also that amazing acceleration, and Tesla are famous for that. Even this rear-wheel drive version, 245 horsepower, 0 to 100 is 6.1 seconds. So that's Volkswagen Golf GTI rivaling acceleration. And it is so responsive. It can absolutely take off and thump you back into your seat. This is not even the performance version of the car. It can do 0 to 100 in 3.1 seconds. It's also very, very efficient. The official range for this car is up to 554 kilometers. Now my consumption is between about 12.5 and 13.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So that would put me on track for between about 420 and 450 kilometers. And of course you've got that fast charging capability with this car as well. It's got a heat pump at standard, there's also one pedal driving, and there's a nice regen effect integrated into the drive mode as well. You've also got the autopilot driver assistance features, which will help you out in motorway driving. The indicator buttons do have a nice bit of tactility to them, I have to say, but the problems arise when you get to a roundabout and all of a sudden the buttons are up here and your hand is here, and it's just a bit clumsy. Like if you want to take the left exit off the roundabout and all of a sudden the buttons are here and you have to move your hand up here to put on your left hand indicator. It's just all a little bit awkward. Stalks would be so much better. And also having the drive and reverse here in the screen, again, it's really awkward if you're trying to park the car and you're there looking for reverse. It's just really awkward, I find. It's just not as simple as having stalks behind the steering wheel. So I'd say bring back the stalks, but Tesla probably won't do that now at this stage. But otherwise, it is a fantastic car when you look at the performance, the efficiency, and how it behaves on the road. The Model 3 is one of Ireland's best-selling electric cars, and deservedly so. It's priced very well, it's packed with technology features, and it offers excellent range and efficiency. Though the removal of the stalks from behind the steering wheel might be a step too far for some drivers. This upgrade brings more comfort and refinement, so if you can live with that pared back cabin, then there's never been a better time to get yourself one of these. If you're looking for a new or used Tesla Model 3, head over to Carzone.ie, Ireland's trusted motoring marketplace. Please give this video a like and please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.